Hello guys and welcome back to my channel Firewall Gan. Today we are going to discuss VPN troubleshooting commands. So without wasting time, let's get started. The first step in a troubleshooting a VPN tunnel and IP negotiation is to ensure packet destined for the VPN tunnel from the peer arrive at the security gateway and vice versa. The SmartView Tracker log is a good way to confirm that IP packets arrives at the gateway. If there are no messages in a SmartView Tracker or a Smart Log, the FW Monitor is helpful for confirming if the IP packets arrives and leaves the gateway. We can use VPN -pu command to remove site-to-site IKE and IPsec key and initiate traffic across the tunnel. This should place useful information into IKE.elg file. In the new IKE.elg file, if you can identify on which packet the IKE negotiation fails, you can check relevant configuration parameters and correct accordingly. Also, looking at the VPND.elg file, you can confirm another things like what is going on the packet. This file contains useful information about establishing the processes. So for troubleshooting, you have to take care of IKE.elg and VPND.elg files, and you have to look them for your different parameters and the information about the packet establishment process. Let's look at the VPN debug command and their syntax. The command VPN debug contains multiple utilities for troubleshooting VPN issues. The following lists all options for the command. VPN debug on debug topic equal to level of IKE on. I'm just reading the command. You can refer the command as shown on the screen. You can also run -help on the command to see description of all the parameters. You can find details of a specific options for a VPN debug commands if you use that -help option. As you can see on the screen, this is the actual syntax, and going forward we'll be discussing more onto this command. Let's see VPN debug command. So VPN debug space on or off. VPN debug on, it uses to turn on VPN debug and write the output to the following file called vpnd.elg. VPN debug on debug topic equal to debug level. This sets the specified TD error topic to the specified level without affecting any other debug settings. This may be useful to turn specific topic on or off. VPN debug on TD error _all equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can select any one of this number which turn on default VPN debugging. Example, all TD error output and default VPN topic without affecting any other debug settings. If you use all instead of this number. VPN debug off, it disables the VPN debug. Similarly, you can use debug file called IKE on. Debug command VPN debug IKE on or IKE off. VPN debug IKE on, it turn on IKE debug and write the output to the following file called IKE.elg. And you can use VPN debug IKE off to disable the debug. The IKE.elg file contains information about the negotiation process of IKE encryption. The VPND.elg contains the verbose information regarding the negotiation process and other encryption failure. VPN debug logging is enabled when you run this command. Using the VPN debug on command, the output of the debugging command writes to the two different locations depending on what is being debugged So IKEY debugging is written on $fwdir/log/IKEY.elg, and VPN debugging file written to the $fwdir/log/vpnd.elg. When the VPN debug on command runs, the output is written on $8WDRI log vpnd.elg by default. VPN environmental variables. Setting the environmental variable to enable logging should only be performed in circumstances where VPNs are failing. The following are the commands to enable the variables. For Windows, set vpn_debug equal to 1, and for Unix, set vpn_debug 1. In previous version, Checkpoint recommended setting the environment variable to enable VPN debugging. As of VPN and next generation firewalls, VPN debug on is the preferred method. Setting the environment variable is recommended as method for debugging only if there is a VPN tunnel failure. Now we will see the VPN commands and the options. The VPN command displays and controls various aspects of a gateway. You are seeing all the options which are present for the VPN command. The table lists other options for the VPN commands that can be useful when troubleshooting or debugging VPN related issues as well. Let's look more on the VPN2 command. The command VPN2 is short for VPN tunnel util and is useful for deleting IPsec or IPESA to a specific peer or a user without interrupting other VPN activities. Example, you have a several site-to-site VPN tunnel amongst the gateway. You want to remove the IKEY SA for a particular peer without interrupting the other VPNs. How you can do that? This is the command VPN2. Run the VPN2 command from the gateway command line interface and select delete all IPsec and IKEY SA for a given peer option, and you can delete from there. Let's understand the comparing essays. This is a quick process to verify that you and a potential VPN partner are configured correctly. Number 1, enable VPN debugging on both your site and your partner site with VPN debug on a trunk. Number 2, use VPN2 tunnel util command to remove all SA for either the peer with which you are about to create tunnel or tunnels. Number 3, have your peer initiate the tunnel from its site to your site. Number 4, use VPN tunnel util VPN2 to remove all SA for either the peer which you are about to create a tunnel or all tunnels. Number 5, initiate the tunnel from your site to your peer. Number 6, disable debugging on both the sites. Number 7, examine IKEY.elg and VPND.elg as they will contain record of the SA sent by your gateway as well as what was received from your partner site. Now let's talk about some classical examples of encryption issues. A typical issue with the encryption is when quick mode packet 1 fails with the error no proposal chosen. From the peer, this failure is usually caused when a peer doesn't agree to the proposal field, such as encryption frame or a hash. A security gateway agrees loosely to the proposal when it is host or network based. Third-party vendors sometimes only agree to these proposals with strict adherence to their parameters. Let's look more onto this. Before that, I wanted to give one more example. A typical issue with encryption is when quick mode packet 1 fails with error no proposal chosen from the peer. This failure is usually caused when a peer does not agree to the proposal field, such as encryption strength or hash. This same applies for the quick mode as well. and a security gateway agrees loosely to the proposal when it is host or network based, right? Another common problem is when a security gateway processes a supernet network address as the VPN domain to a Cisco concentrator or other vendor in a phase 2. The Cisco device only agrees to the VPN domain that matches its network address and the subnet mask. This issue, known as largest possible subnet problem. Here some troubleshooting steps for this issue to get resolved. So largest possible subnet problem, supernetting problem. So when the security proposes a supernetted network address as a VPN domain to the Cisco concentrator or other devices or other vendor devices in a phase 2, the Cisco device only agrees to a VPN domain that matches its network address and the subnet mask. This issue is known as the largest possible subnet problem or a supernet problem. Here are some troubleshooting steps for these things. First, check the shared tunnel settings in the tunnel management section of the VPN community. Make sure both the side agrees on either host based or a subnet based interoperable device. Interoperable device do not support the gateway to the gateway option. Please note that. In utility called GUI DB edit, change the following property to false. Usually this helps to get rid of the supernetting issue. IKEY underscore use underscore largest underscore possible underscore subnet. The option is this will prevent checkpoint from supernetting the network in a VPN domain. The subnet defined in the network object should be used. Check for a multiple network object in a VPN domain that overlaps. For example, say 10.1.1.1 24 subnet and 10.0.0.0.8 subnet. Say both are in a VPN domain. It is possible that a packet source from 10.1.x.x will use 255.0.0.0 for the subnet in a phase 2 instead of 255.255.255.0. In some cases, particularly when the network overlaps exist in a VPN domain, it is required to modify the user.def file. You have to check the SK19243 and there is the SK30919 on Checkpoint website to get rid of this issue. Let's deep dive again into this encryption issue. Encryption domain issue. Another common problem when a security gateway proposes a supernet network address as the VPN domain to a Cisco concentrator in a phase 2. Let's discuss with the example. So say assume you have a site-to-site VPN between two checkpoint security gateways. They are managed by their own management servers. So you see a lot of IKEY phase 1 failure in a SmartView tracker or a smart log, and due to that you ran IKEY debug on a gateway and discover only one packet in the main mode is transferred. There is no packet in the main mode after the packet 1, and you are thinking what might be the cause. So first you need to check VPN settings, including the encryption algorithms, key length, and a hash method. In the community object, make sure phase 1 settings are identical on both the sides. Also check phase 1 setting is advanced setting. In the advanced setting, in the community objects such as group 1 or group 2 or aggressive mode, etc., what we have selected, they both must be identical. Checking at these basic settings, you will get some idea, and I think the first packet will get through once everything is good. Now let's see the another example where you have configured a site-to-site VPN from a checkpoint security gateway to a Cisco device. You see that traffic is initiated from the VPN domain inside the security gateway is dropping, while the error showing package is dropped as there is no valid SA. The Cisco side is sending delete SA to the security gateway. The IKEY debug indicates a phase 2 quick mode failure. What is causing this sort of issues? So basically, a quick mode failure usually indicates the VPN domain is not configured exactly the same for one or both the peers. For example, if the security gateway's VPN domain is a class B network, but the same network is defined with the class C subnet mask on a Cisco VPN configuration, then this type of errors occur. So you have to take care of these basic things to get rid of these issues. So guys, in this video I tried to explain you some of the VPN debug things and the issues what we face during the production environment. So if you like my video, please subscribe my channel, and I will see you on the next video. Have a good day.